Hi, so I just wanted to do a little update on my pregnancy since I'm at 30 weeks, and so I'm definitely at a point where I'm hitting sort of that final stretch since I've only got about 7 to 10 weeks left. It really freaks me out, but I'm excited to start the next phase. Yesterday was Mother's Day. It was my first Mother's Day as a mom, so that was exciting. And so I just wanted to reflect on how this pregnancy's been and how I'm feeling right now. The first part, I'd say like the first 4 months, it was difficult for me, just the body image issues, the fear of weight gain and the fear of how my body would change, and the anxiety about whether I would get a flat stomach back and whether I would lose the weight. I mean, those were real concerns of mine, and especially being a runner, I was concerned that that running wouldn't be as enjoyable, because it's just not. If you're carrying extra weight, running isn't as enjoyable. And so I went through a lot of anxiety about that, and just being a girl too, I mean, that struggled with weight. Which I'm sure almost every girl has a little bit. I went through just phases of comparing myself to celebrities at the same point in their pregnancy, and that's definitely not a healthy thing to do, and I shouldn't have done that, and I quit very soon, but that was part of something that I went through, just wondering, am I as big as her, am I not as big as her, how fast did she lose the weight, what did she do to lose the weight, and I ended up getting a book called Does This Pregnancy Make Me Look Fat? And that it was on body image and pregnancy, and just talked about things that really, girls, you stop talking about it when you get pregnant because you're ashamed. I mean, you don't want to come off as selfish, and that's really the way that it's looked at if you talk about having body image issues after you're pregnant. It's like those issues are supposed to just stop the day you see pregnant on the stick, so, and that's just not the way that it is. Actually, I feel like pregnancy heightened those issues. I was very comfortable with my body and confident with my body, and then all of a sudden my body was changing, and so it definitely stirred up some insecurities, and I had to come to the realization that my body is doing a glorious thing. It's producing another life. I would watch The Baby Story and scenes, which I've been doing a lot now just to kind of see what's coming, and scenes from A Baby Story that used to gross me out. I mean, I used to be like, why are they even showing that on TV? That's sick. And now, I mean, those scenes, the birth scenes, I just start crying, and it's just such a beautiful moment, and I look forward to that moment so much. It seems like the pain of labor kept me from even thinking about that moment. But now, after thinking about that moment of meeting my little girl for the first time, it's helped put things in perspective that, my body is changing, but it's producing a life, and it's an amazing, glorious thing. And if I am forever changed by it, whether I have more of a poochy stomach or something, then it's definitely worth the reward, and it's just amazing what our bodies can do. I did try to set healthy goals during my pregnancy, though. I've been a person that's concerned with fitness, and so I set a goal during my last trimester just because I knew it would be the hardest to be motivated of running or walking 500 miles within that last trimester. And I'm already almost halfway to my goal, and I've got 10 weeks left. So it averaged out to about 30 miles a week, and I've been averaging about 35 miles a week, but I'm sure that'll balance out later on. And a lot of that is walking now, because walking is just more comfortable for me. Running is not as enjoyable, but I still run about 15 miles a week. I try to. So, I've been spending a lot of time doing things that I feel like I might not have time for in the future. My walks or runs that I go on are sometimes an hour and a half or 2 hours. I got a treadmill, so that's helpful, so I can do a lot of my running on that and walking outside. I've been reading tons of books that I'm just trying to get through a list of books that I've wanted to read for a long time, and just trying to read them now, because I figure that will probably be way on the back burner in the future. and just resting. It's been really nice I haven't worked for the first time in my life, really. I haven't worked for the last 6 months. So that's been nice just to be able to rest. And another healthy goal that I set was just my first meal with breakfast. I have tried to make that, well, not tried, I have. That meal, I exercise self-control, and I make sure that I always have a healthy breakfast. And usually it's the same thing. I have eggs and black beans, spinach, fresh tomato, one of those, and usually like a low-carb tortilla. And that helps really to regulate my blood sugar throughout the whole day, so that I don't have a whole lot of unhealthy cravings. And so that has been really helpful also, to just start the day with self-control, because, you know, a lot of times with pregnancy you feel like you can just lose control, and I don't want to do that. I want to continue to eat healthy. And so I have had a lot more sweets cravings. But usually when I give into those, it's with frozen yogurt, because I know that that has the calcium that she needs and that I need, and also it has probiotics, which are good for digestion. Just trying to do everything I can that's good for digestion these days, because that's something that's definitely been hindered in pregnancy, and that stinks. So, and I mean, just trying to understand that your diet needs to change only 300 calories, and so I've just been trying to remember that my diet doesn't really need to change that much. I don't need it to increase that much, and my exercise doesn't need to decrease that much. I mean, as long as the intensity is low, I can still do as many miles as I used to, and I feel good about that. I did have a weird craving of Diet Coke, and I'm not sure really why that happened, but it was only for like a week or so, and I ended up having a few Diet Cokes, and for some reason the aftertaste of the Coke just tasted really good to me. So that's odd, but thankfully that passed, because I'm not really a Diet Coke drinker. Let's see, we did change doctors. We're in the process of changing over doctors. We had something happen and the doctors were just dismissive to me and to Paul, and I had, you know, they had a pattern of being sort of condescending and dismissive throughout the whole process, and it just concerned me that they're going to be that way during labor, and dismissive towards Paul especially. I really want him to be a part of the process as much as possible, and to have doctors that are considerate of his feelings and stresses that he's feeling at the time too. So, and also the doctor that we're going to is closer, so I was really thankful that the doctor that I wanted would take me at 29 weeks, and also that he is so close. So, and we start that next week, so that's exciting. And we also have a 4D ultrasound this week. We tried to have one last week, and Sophia, her face was hidden, and so, but we did get to see that she's turned head down. And so that's really exciting and really good news, because once they're turned head down, they usually stay that way. And so that could also explain, I've been having a weird symptom of just pressure and pain down there, and my nurse told me that it's normal, and that it could get worse, and it has sort of. So, but you know, it hurts after I go for walks, and it hurts after I wake up from a night's rest. So, but it's just something that I've just had to get used to, and this will all be over in 10 weeks one way or another, so I guess that's okay. But Friday we get to find out what her face looks like, and so that's exciting. Every time we see her, I see that she has my nose, and that's just such an incredible feeling to look at her and see my nose on somebody else. I mean, it's just so cute. I didn't know my nose was so cute until I saw it on a baby inside me, and it's just the cutest thing in the whole world. Let's see. Well, you know, I'm just going through some of the anxiety, I guess, that I just wonder what it's going to be like, and you know, just trying to spend as much quality time with my husband while it's just me and him, and spending time, you know, we've been taking my dog to PetSmart, because I'm definitely a dog person, and he's my first baby, and so we get him groomed, and just spending, even Paul has been spending more time just loving on Connor, my dog, because we know that he's going to be not an only child anymore one of these days. So anyway, and there's just anxiety about the labor and how that's all going to work out and how life is going to change. And I've been feeling a lot more tired. About a week or two ago, I just wanted to sleep all the time, rest all the time. But it's been good to have that 500-mile goal, because it gets me out of the house. Every day I go for a walk, whether it's an hour. Sometimes that hour turns into 2 hours, but I let myself walk as slow as I want, and I listen to sermons on my iPod and take Connor, and it's been really nice to have the nice springtime weather too. And so it's nice to be pregnant in the spring. I don't know how June and July is going to be, but anyway, and my mom was always early when she had her kids. So they say that like mother, like daughter, usually that's the way that it goes. So it's possible that I may end up having her at the beginning of July rather than the end. But I'm just preparing myself mentally that could be the timing that I'm looking at rather than the 40-week mark. But either way, it's good, because if it's the 40-week mark, it's more time that I get with my newlywed husband. And if it's less time, then it's the sooner I get to meet my little girl, Sophia. So either way, it's wonderful. So, okay, I guess I'll show you the belly. So this is where I'm at right now. And side view. So she's definitely gotten bigger in the last week or two, but I mean, I've been watching A Baby Story, and they're so big on there, some of them, and I don't really feel like I'm that big yet. I still wear a lot of my old jeans and old shorts, so that could be because my doctor says I'm carrying high, so maybe that's why I still wear my old clothes. But it's definitely gotten a lot bigger in the last month or so. And I can do things now that I couldn't do before, like clean the bottom of my belly button and see the bottom of my belly button. Don't know if that's going to pop out, but I guess it's supposed to. So, yeah, that's the belly. All right, and just about 2 more months to go.